live. Okay, I have my normal microphone set up. Um, I set up OBS to be a lot cleaner, and hopefully this goes a lot smoother than this morning, except for the fact that I'm really tired. It is 11 p.m. here, and it is late, and I have work in the morning. So let's get this under. As I said, this stream will have the same PSAs from this morning, so let's just get through this real quick. Once again, I encourage everybody to dive into game design. That is the whole reason of this Discord. So learn how to use Game Maker, Mugen, 2D Fighter Maker 2002, something. Learn coding, learn concept art. You know, that is why we're here. We made this community so people would get into game design. Next thing is I encourage everyone to ask questions. Always ask questions. Yes, I know sometimes you get a cryptic answer, but push it a little more. If you don't understand what they mean, try to push the point a little more. I understand that some people are more desensitized than others, but you know, if you don't understand something, sometimes a question is the best way. Now, we don't expect to be spoon-fed the answer, but like we should be able to give you a good idea on how to get somewhere. So please always ask questions. Now, the next thing on my list is so I said this earlier this morning. We are making a wiki right now. It is only certain people can make changes to it at a time, but maybe over time we may authorize other users. We understand that most wikis strive because of this, but for now we only have a few set users. This will be developed under time, but it is not available yet. We want to get some stuff in this wiki before we actually release it. We are working on it. Only issue is none of us have really made a wiki, so it's going to take us some time. Now, the next thing I'd like to say is that we are having our first community contest. The contest is pretty simple. All you have to do is make something game related. So the category doesn't matter. You can make concept art. You can make a character in a fighting game. You can just make anything as long as it's game related. However, you are not allowed to make a full game. There will be a difference in effort versus someone who makes concept art versus someone who tries to make a full game. We will not accept any full games. So you can do concept art, sprite sheets, a functional character, but no full games. So if you make a character in Fighter Maker 2002, that is perfectly acceptable. If you make a full game in Fighter Maker 2002, that is not acceptable for the contest. The admins will not participate. We are the judges, and you are not allowed to submit more than one category. So if you submit concept art, you can't submit an FM second character, and vice versa. Everyone is also at a different level in terms of skill or whatever, design, programming, etc. So we will try our best to judge by effort, but quality will also have to be judged well. So finally, after all that, the prize is a free RPG Maker MV key. And while you might go, hey, I don't really use RPG Maker, participate anyway. This might be your chance to get into RPG Maker, and it might be you might find a new interest. Expand your horizons, basically. Now, I blew through that very fast because it is late and I just want to get through this, and I just want to keep to my schedule. So, without further ado, let us start our tutorial on loops in Fighter Maker 2002. So, we touched about loops earlier this morning by using this go-to skill. This is the most basic loop as get in game engine. So we used it in our jumping animations to loop the final frame jump so they can land, which Oh, that's the double jump then. As you can see, that last part when they're falling loops infinitely. I can change the time to 5 frames and it will loop properly. But there are other ways to make a loop, and you'd probably ask yourself, why would you want to loop something any other way? Sometimes you want to have a limited loop. So a limited loop is a loop that will end when a certain condition is met. I don't know the programming lingo for it, but basically something will loop, and in this case, in this case, the jump will loop, and the limit is when they land, end. So there are other ways besides detect skill. Sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you want it to loop a certain amount of frames, and then you want it to end. Now, you could just say, well, have the animation run a certain amount of frames. Yeah, there's that way too, but again, we're here to figure out loops. So, let's get started. I want to do an attack that will play an animation of 3 punches, so we'll use this punch 3 times and then stop. So we will use this as our we'll just make this our strong attack, we'll say. So we can easily just copy and paste this animation 3 times. Let's not do that. Let's make a loop where it will play 3 times and then it will. So we will go script movement, go to skill, and then attack. So now we will go into a condition fork and use a variable. And we will use character variable. Let's just go with B. You can use a task variable, but I like character variables. And since this is a skeleton character, I don't care too much for the variables, even though I constantly say these are more important. But regardless. So the first thing is that we want it to detect the condition. Is it the same? And I said we want it 3 times. So we'll say 3. Next one we'll do is condition fork, variable, and we will do add 1 to character variable B. So basically what happens is it will read, is it the same as, is the value of character variable B 3? The answer is no. It will move ahead as usual. This variable adds 1 to it, and then it will play the rest as usual. Once it loops 3 times, it will lock out. Actually, because we want this to always do 3 times and lock the animation, we're going to add a third variable at the very start, which will reset everything. Character variable B replaced to 0. Ooh, no, there's something wrong with my loop. I'm going to break the loop, and we're going to put it right here in the second variable. There you go. Now our variable is. So now it will say, this will reset everything to 0. That way, when the character does his attack again, the variable counter is set to 0. Then it will have the condition, is the value 3? If not, it will move on. And then it will add 1. And it will loop and keep adding 1 until it reaches 3, in which case we can end it. So, how are we going to end this? Well, 2 ways we can end this. We can just do a fail frame and have it end at 1 frame, or we'll have it end with the sidekick that we animated. That sounds like a good idea. So, we're going to hit save and hit the animation. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and he kicks. 2, 3, and he kicks. 1, 2, 3, and he kicks. So now we've effectively made a loop, and we can change this to whatever we want. So if we say 5 hits, all we gotta do is change this to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, and he kicks. Now, this is much more efficient than copy and pasting. So let's say we want to make this 15 hits. He will do this 15 times, and then he will do his kick. So by making your code loop with a variable like this, you will be able to just change one thing and it will change the rest as well. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to add something else to this sidekick to make sure to break the loop, because there was another thing that that I didn't like. That addition fork hit fill. Oh no, it should be 16. Alright, so what I've done there is I've added 2 detect skills which will break the loop of the flying sidekick, that if he hits the opponent, he will no longer hit them and continuously hit them. And if the opponent blocks it, he will also have the same reaction of jumping off against the wall. So, let's do a quick command. We'll call it stack. Okay. We'll do stack. Stack. Saw that I used E. Alrighty then. So now we're here. There's our weak attack, which is just single punch. Counter attack that we did earlier. And our strong attack, 3 punches and a kick. So what happens if they're blocked? Nothing special. Counter attack. Corner pressure nerf confirmed. Welcome back. So, continuing on, actually, oh, nope, lost my train of thought. Okay, I remember now. So, that's how we make a loop with using the SG function. Now, we can go a step further, and we can use a variable itself to loop opposed to a go-to skill. Now, this isn't advisable. However, it does if it works out, then you can go for this method as well. So let's copy and paste. I don't know why that didn't work. Oh, because I need to rename it, that's why. 2. All right. So we're going to delete that. And now we're going to go to script move our condition fork variable. Now this variable will act the same exact way as this SG. So in order to do that, we're going to go character variable B. Where is it? Find it. There you go. Character variable B. And in order for it to loop back here, we want it to go, is it below 3? So if it's below 3, it will go here. Once it's equal to 3, we can, actually this guy is going to move. So this guy moves to the end. So now that what's going to happen is, we have the variable to start to reinitialize the thing. It's going to be 0. We add 1. This will play out, and then it hits the variable. Is it below 3? The answer is yes. So it will send it back to start. Now it's at 2. It will play again. Is it 3? It's still below 3. So I'll go back, play again. Now, we're at 3. It's still technically not there. So it will go again for a third time. And then finally it's above. So now this condition is broken, and it'll go to here. And now it's the same, and it will go to our weak stand combo. If I'm thinking about that correctly. Pardon me, I am tired. Alright, let's check the animation. Yep. 3 punches, and then flying sidekick. So, works completely the same, even though I used a variable instead. So, just to confirm, we're going to go into here and replace strong attack with strong attack 2. And there you go. Using variable system. What happens if I do this in a quarter? Yeah, funny. Kill combos. Oh, right. Well done. So, now that we have our loops in place, let's look into other ways of breaking said loop. Now, you want to break a loop so you don't have possibilities of infinites or game-breaking bugs. So, like this flying sidekick that I designed, it is, pardon me, it is a loop, and I put all these detect skills in front of it to prevent it from being an infinite loop. Otherwise, he will just keep flying to whatever direction forever, which is not what we want. So, let's say we want this to loop infinitely, but we need a command to stop it. So now we will go here. We'll do SG wrong, or SG back 2 or 3. God, I'm awake, I swear. Now we're going to remove the variable system that we made, because now we want this to loop infinitely. So that's all we need. Oh, I'm on the wrong skill. Why is it going? Oh, because it's looping in the wrong skill. There we go. Always look where your loops are ending. Alright, so now we have this attack where, believe me, it's looping by itself infinitely. So now we're going to go to commands, change this into strong attack 3, go into our game, and I am not pressing any buttons. He is forever doing that, and there is no way to cancel it. The only way to cancel it would be to... Where's the... There we go, to hit him. So, let's say we want that to be infinite, but we want to cancel it at some point. So, we can put in condition fork detect condition. Let's say the player has to press down, and if it's canceled, they go back to the neutral state. So let's make it crouching. So now we have our infinite attack, and if I press down, it now ends it, and it breaks the loop. So, how is this useful? Well, you can make attacks that are transformations, we can say. So I have a character in my fighting game where he uses two guns, and it's still a melee fighting game. He doesn't use the guns willy-nilly. He still will hit, like, pistol whip you and everything. Now, he has a stance where he draws both of his guns and points it to the opponent. And he can move back and forth while shooting the opponent. It's literally called moving shot. So that's a loop. And oh, you know what? I think demonstration is in order. Let's save. Let's open my game. And let us take a look at what I'm actually talking about. Game. Alrighty then. I don't remember the command, so let me just look it up real quick. Move down, back, B. Where is he? Is. Okay. So, I'm gonna try my best to. Oh, okay. Gonna try my best to remember how I actually did this, but this is all done through loops and variables.
Ready and waiting.
Oh, there's the button.
Showtime.
So this is a loop. Okay, and it has a timer.
Showtime.
And between each frame and each shot,
Showtime.
he's allowed to shoot one bullet up to 5 times. So that would be the point of using a loop with a variable. So that way you can do creative stuff like that. That's just an application. And in order for me to do that, I had to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different code lines for that to work, with many variables, many command lines, and many images, and many movements, and many defense frames to actually make that work. But with enough time and perseverance, you can do anything in this engine. At least that's what I believe. Well, almost anything. Alright, back to our tutorial. Dust. Oh. Back to this. Alright, Stickman. Good old Stickman. Now, there are other ways we can cancel a loop. For very specific actions, more of a stance entry. Yeah. That's actually what I meant to say. My bad. Yeah, that is a stance character, not a transformation. So, I guess I kind of equated it to Gen from Street Fighter, where he's a transformation character, but in actuality, you're changing stances. So, sort of the same concept, but no, you're right. It's a stance more than a transformation. Anyway, so there are other things we can do to cancel a loop. But instead of like trying to clutter up our code line, we can do something called call skill. So I'm going to make this new skill where it's called break loop. And I'm going to put all the types of conditions that I want to cancel a loop. So in this case, we will have a forward is tap. We'll put moving forward. Condition fork. If back is tap. Nope. Go backward. Back condition. Down is tap. we'll go crouching. Now we'll go save. And I misclicked. Alright. We'll go to good old Stickman. And I clearly did something wrong. Hold up. I probably didn't call the skill, did I? Nope, I did not. There we go. So, now that I've properly called the skill, I should be able to break that loop. Oh, that's weak. Ah, that's interesting. It's not breaking the loop. Oh, I know why. I know why. Ha, that's funny. So, I am absolutely wrong. Do not use a call skill to break a loop, because that will not break a loop. What happens is, because now that I'm remembering, a call skill will call a skill outside of a current skill and use it within a skill. So what's actually happening is, it's calling these detect inputs, but this skill is still playing. That's why he was sliding around doing his punch, because it did successfully call the move forward, move backwards, and crouching skill. But because it was a call skill, it was kind of running a sub-program per se. So we can think of this Strong Attack 3 as the main program, and the call skill calling a sub-program. We do not want that, so let's not do that. So very good demonstration of what not to do. Sometimes you only figure it out through exploration. So if we want to break the loop, we can also use a command input. It's not recommended, but you can do it. So we've talked about command inputs before. Let's say we want to press down, which, why would you use this? You could always use detect. What was it? Detect condition. But again, I'm here to teach you about all possibilities. So if we press down, we'll go for crouching. And we will do input time of 10. Changing. There we go. So, and it works just fine. Now, the problem with this is it will only work if the command input happens on the frame it's added on. So in this case, I put it at the beginning. So I have 8 frames to actually do this command input. So if I made this more complicated, like down, back, which I don't know why in Earth anyone would try to do that for a cancel, it's not going to work. Because it has to be done in that start frame, which I'm trying to do it actually. I am mashing it right now, it's not working. So for a simple input like down, yes, it's going to work. But you're asking someone to do a frame perfect input to cancel something, which if that's what you're going for in your game, like literally after 8 frames they have to cancel it on that frame, fine. That's perfectly fine. But if that's not what you're after, then go for the more basic loop breaks, a variable or a detect condition. Now, next thing we want to look at, and this is more of just housekeeping. When you do a loop, and your loop doesn't have, like after an attack connects, you want to make sure that wherever you're redirecting, that your attack frames and your defense frames also are following suit. So earlier this morning, I had an issue where when he went from this punch to the flying sidekick, there was no reestablishment of detect frames, so he ended up having some wonky attack boxes. Now, what do I mean by that? So if I go over here to this Strong Attack 3 and I delete this attack frame, as you can see, it's still there. And it will forever be there because it's not being canceled. So if I make this a wait time of 0, which will make it infinite, that will never disappear. That in itself is a loop, but we don't want that. So the easiest way to make sure during your recovery frames, when you're sure that the attack is over, is add an empty attack frame. That's all you got to do. All right. So now I can segue to my next point. One thing that you can do to Boneless send you should stream more. This is all super helpful stuff. Yeah, I'm going to try to stream more, but it's hard to find out when I'm actually available. I said earlier this morning that I was a college student and I finished, so I do have more time, but you know, not everybody can tune into these, and some people are like, I'll just watch it on YouTube, but I try my best. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so yes, absolutely. But even then, you're asking for perfection. So another, as I said, putting something at 0, a wait image of 0, is also a infinite. So if I take this out, this wait image of 0 now becomes infinite, and he will forever stay like this. There's no real way to cancel it. And yet, I think there is. Let's test the waters. I'm going to do if down is tap. Alright, so if he uses that strong attack, alright, he is stuck. And nope, he is stuck. So yeah, be careful of your wait images, because if you have 0, it will prevent them from moving forever. Think. Yeah, even putting the cancel skill afterwards does not fix it. So always keep that in mind. That is also a loop in itself. Alright, now let's look real quick. Are there any other ways to, because the input has to be done before the frame happens? Well, I tried it before and I tried it after, and the result didn't work no matter what. So what that leads me to believe is when it's 0, even if it's before or after, the frame actually never happens. It's just there. I can't explain it. It's just an anomaly that is Spider Maker 2002, but hey, it is what it is. So, let us continue. Let's see what else we have for looping. Movement, go skill, for loop. Huh, there's actually a skill called a loop. I don't think I've ever used that one. Oh, wait. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Okay. So this is the classic loop function, and I just deleted it. Good job, me. There we go. So what this does is it will call something, so in this case this punch, and we will have it loop 3 times like I said. Now, we can take this condition fork, and we want it to end with the flying sidekick, the other one. So we'll do that. Now, as you can see, this code line is two code blocks. So again, I started out with the most rudimentary, and now this is probably the most refined loop that we can get in 2D Fighter Maker. It's also conveniently built in. So he should do 3 punches and his flying sidekick. 3, and there he goes. And effectively the same exact thing. We are also going to rename this strong attack 4. Now, because the strong attack is effectively the weak attack, we can do this. Loop weak stand. And now, we're going to delete this. Say yes. Delete this. Yes. Delete all these things out. Copy these over. Delete this skill. Make sure that's good. And combo. 3 punches. And now, as you can see, I deleted all 3 strong attacks. All the extra ones, at least. And I am claiming, and believe me when I make this claim, that he will still do the same exact thing. 3 weak punches and his flying sidekick. All in those 2 blocks of code. There you go. Same exact thing. Punch, 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 and kick. So, in a matter of, according to my stream, 34 minutes, I have shown you all the possible loops you could do. And you can get fancier with this, but I wouldn't. You can use variables. You can use the go-to skill. You can use the call skill. The call skill, the call ahead loop is nice because, like I said, you can just call something that's pre-existing and have it loop. But you're limited to whatever you're picking. So keep that in mind. But it works just the same as a call skill, except it works here. Alright. With that being said, since there are 2 of you out there, actually it says 3, but according to my stream chat, there's only me and you 2 guys, but hey, that's better than the zeros that I had the other 4 streams. Anyway, do you guys have any questions? Look, my stream's actually showing the chat. Yay, it's working. You guys have any questions that I can demonstrate real quick, or not so quick? Just trying to study. I just got in this, so I'm trying to pick up on what you say. Oh, that's perfectly fine. I'm not sure if you guys are part of the Discord, but you can scroll down on my channel and you can see the Discord link if you're not part of it. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel where I upload all these videos. How can you implement high and low blocking? Okay, so that takes a little bit of small doing. So first off, you need to go into your hit junction. It's on game system hit junction. Now you find the attack that you want. Or wait, is it attack or is it? Okay, I need to open my game because I'm having a brain fart. That's fine. I don't mind sharing my game. Okay, I do. Alright. And hit jump. Okay, it's the reaction. So I know what you're asking. It's if they do a jumping attack and they're holding down back, you want to know how do you implement a high-low, like that kind of high-low. So let's go back to our test game and let's implement that real quick. There we go. So back to good old Stickman. We need to give him an air attack. So let's go in here, add new skill. Air attack. And we're going to make it the most stupid, broken air attack just so we can get the point across. We're going to take his flying sidekick animation. I'm going to copy and paste it. And we're going to delete all this right up to here. Delete all this because he doesn't need it. And we're going to do condition, detect skill, landing, and we're going to just recycle our landing animation from jumping. So now we're going to go into commands. Weak stand in the air will be air attack. Now I believe I did that correctly. Yep. Now he has a flying sidekick. So yes, I do keep streams up, but I also upload them to my YouTube because I don't do the whole thing where I upload them to Twitch or have Twitch save them or whatever. So you can go down to, like I said, you can go down, scroll down my channel page and you can see the YouTube channel, and that's where I upload all the replays. And I documented everything that I've done before in that YouTube channel. All right, so we're going to go into our game system, hit junction script, and we're gonna take weak hit stand. Is that the one I gave him? Yeah, weak hit stand. And we're gonna say doing. I don't know what it's translated for you guys, but what's going to happen is if he stand blocks, he's fine. But if we put weak hit stand here on the crouch block, he will now take full damage. So where's the damage? And it's 10. Okay. So oops. Neutral jump. Oops. I knew this, I swear. As you can see, he's blocking. And now if I do a down back, it goes through, and he takes full damage. Now let's add a low attack, and we're going to be lazy again. Crouch low. And what I'm going to do is move this down. Like that. Two. And we're going to take that part out. Delete. We're going to give him like an M. Bison slide kick deal type of thing. For about like 10 frames. 50 frames. And then this. Just copy paste this at the end. The Sub-Zero slide, yes, that's even better instead of a M. Bison slide. Back frame, cancel that out. Let's give that a little more. Oh, I'm not stopping his movement. There we go. Alright, so now that we have that, in this reaction, we want it to hit low. So, we're going to take in the stand, hit weak stand. That should be crouching, but you get the picture. And crouching, he will get block. We just reversed it. So if I'm crouch blocking, and... Oh, you know what the issue is? I didn't put in the commands. Crouched. Crouch low. File save. Okay. Now it should work. So as you can see, he's blocking it just fine. But if I stand block, he gets hit and takes full damage. And that is how you add a high-low system. A lot less complicated than people think, but it's something that is not so obvious. Oh, let's save that. I'm gonna need to add some like air hit junctions or something. Any other questions? Pardon me. Hey, I have another follower. When did that happen? Appreciate it. And in a small competition with my friend who can get more followers. We're all kind of new to the streaming. That is neither here nor there. I have the better equipment. In my test game, when I corner the opponent with an attack, my sprite would get pushed back. Is that normal for the program? Yes, that is absolutely normal. So it's 2D Fighter Maker compensating for itself. So you can even see it in this test game. So this light punch where the character is blown back, the opponent isn't blown back because they're hitting the wall. If I take that blowback, this wall bounce away, so it's not. Oh, that's the wrong thing. This one. X skill, hit wall. So now, this guy will, when he hits the wall, he will forever hit the wall. Now, I'm moving forward. I can't do anything anymore because he's constantly hitting the wall. That's 2D Fighter Maker compensating the fact that, well, if I can't move backwards, then you're going to move backward. This is pretty much what you're asking. I know it is. So, the only way around that is to program, if you want it, the only way around that is to program everything to have a hit the wall detection. That's what actually prevents it. I personally liked it because it was able to get rid of infinites in my game. But I know, like in Street Fighter, when you do a Shoryuken, Ryu doesn't end up way back here. He's still like next to the opponent to continue pressure. So there's no clean way to do it. I haven't tried. I'm pretty sure Kisuke, if he messaged me. Nope, no message whatsoever. Oh well. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Kisuke would think of something, but from the top of my head, you'd have to use the detect skill and then hit the wall, and you would pretty much do a bunch of neutral movements. So, like, when someone gets uppercutted with a Shoryuken, like, if we use this as our animation, actually, let's just copy and paste it somewhere else. Say here. So, we'll say negative +8. I think something like that. Or did I make that go the wrong direction? Landing. Okay. So we're almost there. Okay. So this is good enough to demonstrate the point. We're going to go to our weak attack and we're going to change it to that react. Oops. Oh, that's right. What is that? Weak crouching? Okay. Yes. So now I know that will push me back. And now that in traditional fighting games, that means you're relieving pressure in the corner. And we don't want that. So what we're going to do is... Okay, yeah, that's the only way I can think of it. We can do a failsafe where if condition fork detect skill hit the wall, we can have this looping point. Copy and paste it over here. Move. We're going to stop the X direction movement. And we're going to continue looping our skill. Will this work? I'm actually not sure, but we shall see. If this works, holy crap, I'm a genius. If not, well, I broke it. He hit the wall and he's looping somewhere else. Why is that? So let's see, detect skill. Oh, okay, no, I think I know the issue. I think I got it. So we're gonna place that. That stays the same, that's fine. And we're gonna copy over this. Copy this over. File, save. Let's try this again. Oh, not close enough. There we go. Now, not exactly the result we want, but as you can see, I'm no longer being pushed back. And when he touches the wall, as you can see, the opponent does not get pushed back. I'm pretty sure this is what you're talking about, what you want, and that is one way to go about it. Every single reaction frame has a detect skill, and then you have to redirect the movement, like make them neutral and all that. So it's a long, arduous thing, but if you're into the aesthetics, then by all means go for it. But it becomes a little trickier because that detect skill, the hit the wall, the second you touch the wall, it will skip frames. So this frame where he's lunged with his head forward, and then this one where his head is lunged back. If he touches the wall while he's in this frame, and the 10 frames haven't played, it will still jump over, so you may get some like frame skipping. So that's why there's the other possibility is you set an object or in your neutrals have a detect hit the wall, and when that is active, have a variable turn on. This variable will then change every single one of your hit reactions to wall hit, we'll call it, and that will allow you to do the same animation minus the X movement. But that takes a lot of doing. It is midnight here, so I will not demonstrate that, but I know that answers your question, and I'm pretty confident you can hopefully figure out something next time. If not, then I'm always around in Discord. You can always ask me there. I do not recommend asking me on my YouTube channel. I do not answer there. It is just there for documentary purposes. But I am going to call this part of the stream over, and I don't know if I want to do the RPG Maker XP part of the stream because I'm kind of dead tired. But thanks for showing up, and have a good day or night wherever you guys are.